So in February, I am hosting a prompt list with some of my friends. It's called February Frost 2026, and these are the prompts here. We're doing a weekly rhythm for it, so we'll have one prompt from February 1 to 7, and then the weeks following that. I thought I'd make a little quick video going through some ideas and sharing some of my old art that relates to these prompts in a way where I could share some inspiration, share some ideas, and maybe get you motivated for the prompt list. You can pick one of the prompts or you can combine both. I've done a mix in this little presentation I'm doing in the journaling app called Zinnia. But yeah, let's get into it. So, week 1 is the prompts Snowdrops and Nocturnal. And I'm thinking Snowdrops is one of my favorite flowers and it's such a perfect winter flower. I just want to make something along the lines of the snowdrop art I've made before, this collage here, or this painting, and this drawing. And also I'm thinking for nocturnal, I'm thinking a lot of animals in nature during the night with dark backgrounds, and something like this with a landscape with lots of moonlight and that kind of thing. So I'm thinking something snowdroppy in a nighttime setting, and also owls. That's what I'm thinking. Basically, this drawing is one of my favorites from that year because I just love that the expression of that cat. It just looks so surprised and oh, you found me. And I made this by making a background layer using some watercolor brushes and making these gradients, and it makes for this really cool effect. And then I went over with some pencil brush to scribble in the negative space rather than drawing what I was drawing. I drew what wasn't in the drawing. And yeah, it's a really fun way to work. This one is also a favorite. I really love how this one turned out. I remember I played around with a lot of brushes and just experimented a lot with this one. And honestly, I don't know if I could recreate it now. These brush strokes on the clouds are so fun, but I don't remember what brush I used. So it's a one-off for sure. And then we have this little dog sitting in the night, and of course snowdrops. This collage is quite old. I think it's from 2022 or something, when I did a lot of paper cut collage, but I love how it looks in this frame. Can I move it to the front? Yes. Then owls, of course, and snowdrops. Yeah, that's week 1. I haven't started any of these drawings, and there's a week left till it starts, but you have the full week to create your piece, and you can post it anytime during the week. So it's a really relaxed and fun challenge for anyone to participate in. Okay, so week 2, the prompts are stars and quilt. Stars are kind of simple. I use stars in my art all the time, but I kind of want to push my interpretation of it a bit. I don't know how yet, but maybe something cozy or sparkly, and maybe a sparkly quilt thingy. But for quilt, I really am hoping to make something with this kind of decorative frame, with this kind of patchwork style, or just a patchwork drawing in general, because I saw some people were confused by the prompt quilt, and I think it's the most unique one in the prompt list. But a quilt is a patchwork fabric blanket, and for me it really gives this sense of cozy vibes and this handicraft and this just such a comforting vibe. And so I want to express that in this drawing for the week 2 drawing. As for the color palette for this challenge for me, I don't think I'm gonna limit myself in any way. I'm kind of leaning towards something cool toned and turquoise and light blue, but I don't know, for this one I did a kind of cool toned palette, and I really love how it turned out with the bright oranges together with this kind of grayish blue. But yeah, I don't know. I don't think I will limit myself in any way to make the 4 pieces that what's it called? Go together or being cohesive in any way, because that kind of cohesive goal, having cohesiveness as a goal, never ends with a very motivating experience for me with anything. So no cohesiveness. I'm just gonna have fun. Okay, so for week 3, the prompts are crocus and frost. I haven't actually drawn crocuses very many times. I think the first time was for the prompt list announcement post, actually. So I don't have any examples of crocus drawings, but I want to like be inspired by something like this kind of early spring vibe, and maybe this like is the closest to a crocus. No, that doesn't look like a crocus at all. And then for frost, I'm thinking these are the examples of the color palette I was drawn towards, especially for the prompt frost, because I love this blue and the red together, and these little dancing stars and stuff. But I also think that you can make some really gorgeous like floral pieces with like a winter and frosty color palette and make it wintry, or like that kind of spring winter. In Swedish we have the word vårvinter, which is like a word for spring winter. It means like literally, and it's for like the transition between spring or from winter to spring. And I really think this bunny piece with this color palette feels that way for me, because it can be like snowy, but it's really sunny here sometimes, and the sunlight reflects on the snow and it just feels so bright and sunny and nice. I love it. And then also something I like really feel for this February frost is like drinking hot drinks outside when it's cold. I don't know why that feels like such a like significant thing for me for this prompt list, but I just feel like it would be so cozy. I remember it from when I was a kid, when we'd be outside in the winters and in February, and we'd drink like hot drinks outside and eat like a bad hot dog, but everything just tasted so nice because we were outside and it was kind of cold and it was cozy. So this like coffee cup represents that for me, kind of, and the teapot and this coffee cup and stuff. Okay, for week 4, the final week, which is at the end of February, the prompts are robin and sparkling. I really like robins, but I don't think I've ever actually drawn one. They're so cute and so like wintry in a good way, but no, I haven't drawn any. So I had to like go with the closest thing I have with it, which is this magpie, which is like one of the few birds I've drawn that are based on how the bird actually looks and not just like a silly little guy like these are, or a goose for that matter. I also maybe want to make something collagey because this looks so fun, and I love the shifting colors on the wing here are so good. And as for sparkles are always fun. I always had sparkles, but I want to like start thinking about what else sparkles, like frost sparkles, this ring sparkles. But also, if I want to just add sparkles for this prompt and using sparkles as sparkling, that's also fine. You don't have to make it so complicated, in my opinion, just because it's a prompt list. I feel like during Peachtober, there's so much like, almost like competition, but not competition, I don't know, but people always want to think of the most creative interpretation of a prompt. And while it is fun to like think of prompts in a creative way, when you're doing like daily prompt list, I don't think it's viable to also put the pressure on yourself to be the most creative person out of like hundreds or thousands of artists. I don't know, I just think that's like setting yourself up for failure and sadness. Yeah. Okay, anyway, that's all I had for you today. I wanted to show more of my art, but I had so much, and I went through like back till 2021 and found stuff, so it was really fun to see what I had made already in these categories. I want to remind you all that the most important part of this is to have fun and to encourage you to create stuff. It's not a competition, I want to say that again, and prompts are just starting points. If you're struggling with a prompt, maybe try to think of it from a different perspective or in a different way, and don't get so hung up on that it has to be like a crocus for a crocus. I don't know, isn't like saffron from a crocus? I don't know, you can think of like creative ways to make it your own. Remember to use the hashtag FebruaryFrost26 and also the special hashtags for each week on Instagram, since Instagram have like ruined hashtags. And yeah, thank you so much for watching, and thank for listening in on me sharing my art a little, and hope you're having a wonderful day. Bye!